When my wife's mobility started declining, one of the first changes we had to make was practical, close, reliable parking. What most people don't see is how exhausting even short distances can become when your body doesn't cooperate the way it used to. So, after going through the proper process, paperwork, approvals, and inspections, we had a handicap parking sign installed right in front of our home. It wasn't just a convenience, it was necessary. It meant fewer painful steps, fewer risks, more independence. For us, it was a solution. For Karen, it was a problem. She was the kind of HOA figure who treated every visual change like a personal offense. The sign, to her, didn't match the neighborhood. At first, it was complaints, emails, passive-aggressive comments, suggestions that we relocate it. I explained multiple times that it wasn't optional, that it had been officially approved and installed under proper authority. But Karen didn't care about explanations. She cared about control. One morning, I walked outside and immediately felt something was off. The sign was gone. For a second, I thought I was mistaken. But no, the post had been tampered with, loosened, removed entirely. My chest tightened. This wasn't just interference, this was serious. I stepped back, scanning the area, and then I noticed something across the street. A neighbor's security camera pointed directly toward our driveway. That's when the realization hit. Later that day, the footage confirmed everything. Karen had come early in the morning, looked around to make sure no one was watching, and started working at the base of the sign. It wasn't subtle. She struggled with it, clearly frustrated but determined. Eventually, she managed to pull it out and carry it off like it was nothing more than yard clutter. Watching that footage was surreal. Not because it was shocking, but because of how confidently wrong she was. She thought she was enforcing a rule. She had no idea what she had just interfered with. We didn't confront her directly. We didn't argue. Instead, we reported it properly through the channels that actually mattered. Because what Karen didn't realize was that the sign wasn't just approved locally, it was issued under state authority, part of a regulated accessibility accommodation. And removing it? That's not a violation of HOA rules. That's a legal issue. The response was immediate. An investigation was opened. Statements were taken. The footage was reviewed. And suddenly, the situation Karen thought she controlled had moved far beyond her reach. The HOA, which had previously backed her complaints, shifted tone quickly. Formal notices were issued. Responsibilities were clarified. And Karen? She was no longer the one pointing out violations, she was the one answering for them. Within days, the sign was reinstalled, this time more securely, with clear documentation attached. But more importantly, a message was sent to the entire neighborhood. Not just about rules, but about boundaries. About what you can't interfere with. About what actually matters. Karen stopped showing up after that. No more comments. No more complaints. Just silence. And honestly, that said more than anything else. A few evenings later, I helped my wife into the car using that same parking spot, the one that had caused so much unnecessary conflict. She moved a little easier, a little more confidently, and for the first time in a while, there was no tension attached to something so simple. And as I stood there looking at that sign, I realized something important. Karen thought she was removing an inconvenience. But what she actually did was challenge something far bigger than herself. Because when something is built on real need, on real authority, you don't get to decide it shouldn't exist. And when you try to take it down, it doesn't just come back. It comes back stronger,